You've probably seen content online that clashes violently with what you believe, compelling you to jump into the comments and explain the correct point of view. But what if I told you that what they said might be an ingeniously set trap intentionally designed to trigger your anger, and that they gain something very specific from that anger? Lil Tay is the clearest example. She was the 9-year-old kid making videos flexing supercars, stacks of cash, and spewing insults at poor people until she went viral.
All y'all broke haters, y'all ain't doing it like Lil Tay. This is why all y'all haters hate me. This cost me $200,000.
That was one of her rage bait strategies. She even nicknamed herself the youngest flexer of the century.
How would you describe your life right now?
I would describe my life like, since I'm the youngest flexer of the century.
Fast forward to today. Not long ago, she marketed teasers for her OnlyFans extensively, earning a reported $1 million within just 3 hours after turning 18 and launching it. But $1 million clearly wasn't enough, because what happened next is the clearest example of a perfect storm, a combination of everything that conflicts with mainstream societal values. She came out saying,
"If you're over the age of 25 and you're still working a 9 to 5, you are a failure. Like, by then you should have already made your bag. And ladies, every single one of you should drop the link like me. Like, just literally just make your bag. Who gives a what anybody thinks? Screw your family. My family kicked me out. I got disowned. They don't talk to me anymore. They don't me. But who gives a shit? I can literally buy their whole life if I wanted to. I'm good. Also, education, because Harvard was never going to help me make 8 figures. That's why I dropped out of it, and I dropped the link instead."
Everything you see might look like just unfiltered extreme opinions, but that is the meticulously planned trap, and nobody realizes they're about to be used as pawns to push her even higher. Look at the issues she raised. Not a single one doesn't provoke the majority, especially conservatives. The phrase 25 and still working 9 to 5 equals failure wasn't designed for agreement. It was engineered to trigger the ego. People 25 plus feel insulted. Those with regular jobs feel devalued. Education, prestigious universities, things society largely believes are paths to success, she calls worthless. Family, parents, she implies money is bigger. Sexual morality, she says every woman should do OnlyFans while society still debates its ethics. The vast majority who hear this instinctively feel superior to protect their own ego and pity her thinking, because how can having a good job, a degree, and family be a failure compared to someone selling their body who didn't finish school and whose family cut them off? She's the bigger failure. Yes, she wants you to feel superior. She wants you to feel you're not misguided like her, compelling you to type exactly that. Let's break down the 3 psychological tactics she used. The first 2 are ego threat and ego defensive mechanism. We all have an ego or self-concept we've built. I'm a good person, I'm educated, I'm a hard worker with value. When Lil Tay says 9 to 5 workers are failures or education is worthless, it's a direct ego threat to everyone defining themselves by those things. It causes psychological pain. Your anger you feel isn't just displeasure, it's an ego defensive mechanism firing automatically. Your compulsion to comment, "Your thinking is wrong, education matters, regular jobs have dignity," isn't about teaching her, it's about protecting your own identity. You're announcing to the world and reminding yourself that my self-concept is still valid and valuable. The third is downward social comparison, theorized by Leon Festinger. We evaluate our own worth by comparing ourselves to others. When we compare ourselves to someone we perceive as inferior, intellectually, morally, lifestyle-wise, it makes us feel better about ourselves. As I pointed out, how can having a good job, a degree, be a failure compared to someone selling their body who dropped out? This is perfect downward social comparison. The commenters feel morally and intellectually superior, and commenting is the act of confirming that superiority. They aren't just defending their ego, they're reinforcing their higher status, which is a psychological reward. This kind of attention grabbing also leads media and ordinary people to talk about her, massively amplifying her reach. Consequently, many more people subscribe to her OnlyFans, boosting her income further, just because they're curious, even if it's just bikini photos. In summary, in this provocation event, she gained immense fame and fortune directly from people's anger. And another person we can't ignore is Andrew Tate. He holds some of the most controversial opinions in the social media world. Many see him as a misogynist, yet many others cheer him on, sparking endless online debates. What's more interesting is that he intentionally designed a system to create exactly this situation. What he did was build an affiliate system. He'd do long podcasts or interviews spewing highly controversial beliefs. Then he allowed people to edit short, viral potential clips from these long videos. These editors would then embed an affiliate link leading viewers to Hustlers University, his course on getting rich. Andrew Tate gave commissions based on signups through these links. As a result, for a time, the internet was flooded with his short clips, generating millions for his course and hundreds of thousands for his editors. Because the more the opposition argued with his supporters, the more he was talked about. For his supporters, the feeling was, people oppose Andrew Tate because he speaks hidden truths. Outsiders don't get it because they're brainwashed. We are escaping the matrix. This fostered intense belief and loyalty, and because his fan base clustered in the same communities, all reinforcing the same beliefs, Andrew Tate effectively became a cult leader. He could upsell anything to his believers. The psychology he uses involves social identity theory and group polarization by Henry Tajfel. We partly define ourselves by the groups we belong to. Fan club, nationality, the awakened. We elevate our own group, in-group, and devalue others, out-group. Andrew Tate created an in-group, those escaping the matrix, his fans, and an out-group, everyone else, the brainwashed society. We are escaping the matrix is an incredibly strong group identity. When outsiders, out-group, attack Andrew Tate, it's not just an attack on him, but an attack on their group identity. They must defend Tate fiercely to protect their group and their self. Furthermore, the echo chamber phenomenon occurs, where people within the group become more extreme in their views as they only hear supportive voices. This strengthens their beliefs and isolates them further from the outside world. His course had over 220,000 members paying $49 a month. Based on these numbers, his monthly income would be around $10,780,000 and annually $129,360,000, not even including higher-priced premium courses or his other businesses. In conclusion, he intentionally built a system for others to spread his beliefs and influence, which he then converted to massive wealth. The core psychology both these individuals exploit is negativity bias. This explains why rage bait gets famous and makes money so easily. The human brain is hardwired to pay about 4 times more attention to threats or negative information than positive information because it's a survival mechanism. Threats, disgusting things, bad news, while heartwarming, positive, content gets processed, content that is infuriating, negative or threatening, is processed as urgent and more important. It grabs our attention instantly. Rage bait directly exploits this negativity bias. Clips from Lil Tay or Andrew Tate aren't just different opinions, they are threats to our values. Your brain prioritizes this as urgent business that needs handling, causing you to stop, watch, listen, and react. So, to summarize, anger is the product. They don't just accidentally make people angry, they deliberately manufacture anger. Your anger is what they use to generate engagement. And you are the tool. Every time you comment to teach them a lesson or defend your ego, you are doing their marketing for free. You are becoming a pawn in their game. As Epictetus says, any person capable of angering you becomes your master. If you understand this quote, you'll realize most people aren't superior to these celebrities. These celebrities hold influence over most people. If you clicked on this video and you've watched until now, it means the psychology we hid within it worked. Try to guess what we put in here that made you watch this far. We are Public Manipulator. Public Manipulator was founded with one clear mission: to empower ordinary people who have always been overlooked, giving them a voice, a stance, and undeniable presence by revealing the hidden knowledge of dark psychology, a field once reserved for a select few, and translating it into practical tools anyone can use to protect themselves against manipulators, bullies, or toxic people. We wrote a book called How to Make a Bully Look Stupid in One Sentence. Ever had someone twist your words, mock you, or make you look small and you couldn't say anything back? This book shows you how to flip a bully's words and make the whole room laugh at them in just 3 seconds without explaining or insulting until it becomes instinct. Inside, you'll get 50-plus real-life mock-to-comeback examples, each broken down to show why they work. The replies you must never use. They make you weaker. How to judge when to respond and when silence is stronger. A method to improvise new lines on the spot, ready to use comeback lines for any situation, a quick test to prove you're ready. Grab a free sample or the full book at the link in the description below, or just keep watching our free videos on mock-to-comeback psychology for now.